Hey, Greg here for Party Fell. Got Scott behind the camera again, and we're going to talk about Warbeasts and all the cool things about Warbeasts. This is going to be a very brief introduction for new players, and we're going to do separate videos for more complicated aspects of Warbeasts later. But we're going to cover forcing, leeching, healing, transferring, marking damage, crippled aspects, and removing damage. A lot of stuff, but we're going to go through it real quick. Okay, so we're going to go down to the tabletop. Okay, first off, forcing. Warbeasts work different than Warjacks in the fact that they have a Fury stat. So Getorix has Fury 4. That means he can have a maximum of 4 Fury on him. The Moonhound has 3. You can have a maximum of 3. Scarsfeld 3, maximum of 3 as well. You can force them to do a number of different things, but common things that you're going to do are do movement type things. You're going to, if you want to run, the Warbeast has to be forced to do that. So he has to be forced for 1, and then he can run at double his movement or double his speed. You can also charge. Once again, you need to force, and then you can do your charge. You can boost attacks. So say Getorix charges Stormclad and he wants to really hit him, so he boosts his charge attack. He hits, he does damage. Maybe he's not close enough to do his second attack, so he buys an additional attack. That's another ability that you can use. You can force the Warbeast to buy an additional attack, and you can force them to either boost attack or boost damage rolls. So that's the basic things that you can do with forcing a Warbeast, and it's functionally different than Warjacks because Warjacks start with focus and they spend it, where Warbeasts are forced and they gain Fury. Okay? So, that's forcing. There's also other abilities that you can do that require you to force the Warbeast, like Getorix can be forced to regenerate, other Warbeasts can be forced to do other cool things. Just read your card, you'll figure out what those things are. But when they say the Warbeast needs to be forced, that means you add 1 Fury to the Warbeast. Okay, leeching. Very briefly, to leech Fury, this happens at the beginning of your turn, probably the maintenance phase, right? Because you do frenzying and stuff in the maintenance phase. So at the beginning of the turn, in the maintenance phase, your Warlock can remove Fury on Warbeasts, so say we got that, in their control area, and once again, control area is double their Fury stats, so here Tanith is Fury 6, so she has a 12-inch control, so you measure to make sure that the Warbeasts that you want to take Fury from are in her control area. They are, obviously, so she has 3 on her right now, so she can go up to her maximum Fury stat of 6. So she's going to remove 3 from Getorix, and you add that to her. So Getorix is fine. She can't take the Fury off of the Moonhound, so he'll have to make a Frenzy check, and we're going to cover that in a completely different video. So that's leeching. Transferring. If your Warlock takes damage from some sort of attack or a source or anything like that, she can spend 1 Fury to transfer that damage to a Warbeast in her control area that is not maxed out on Fury. So say in this case, Getorix has 4 Fury on him because he's just destroyed a storm wall or something, and the Moonhound has 3 because he's done stuff as well. And Tanith is shot by some guns or something like that, so she spends 1 Fury to transfer the damage, say it's like 20 points or something like that. She transfers it to a Warbeast in her control area that's not maxed out on Fury. And that's also part of her battle group, obviously. So she has to transfer to the Scarsfeld Griffin, because both the Moonhound and Getorix are maxed out on their Fury, equal to their Fury stat. So all 20 points goes to the Scarsfeld Griffin. Your opponent has to roll a spiral number so that you can know how to mark that damage. And I'll tell you that right now, because that is pretty much all you need to know about transferring. We have a video on reading the cards. I think it's the second boot camp video, reading the card Warbeast and Warjacks. There's a graphic on there that shows you how to mark it, but basically there's a spiral, and the spirals are marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spirals 1 and 2 are the Warbeast's mind. Spirals 3 and 4 are the Warbeast's body. Spirals 5 and 6 are the Warbeast's spirit, and those are called the aspects: mind, body, and spirit. And when you mark damage, your opponent rolls a column and say you take 10 points. So you start at the top of 1 and you start marking the little boxes. So say he has 8 boxes in columns 1 and 2, which are the mind, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you take those other 2 and you put them into spiral, sorry I said column, but I meant spiral, spiral 3, and that starts to go into the body. So when all those little circles, the boxes, are filled in an aspect, so say mind in this case, that aspect is considered to be crippled. So what happens when you have a crippled aspect? If you have a crippled mind, you're going to roll 1 less die on your attack rolls. That's melee attack rolls, ranged attack rolls, any attack rolls. If your body is crippled, you're going to roll 1 less die on damage rolls for the Warbeast. And that's, once again, melee and ranged attack rolls. You can still boost to go from 1 die to 2 dice, but you can't get to 3 dice with the boost anymore. And if its spirit is all filled in, then the Warbeast can no longer be forced. So that's pretty bad. It's a little simpler than Warjacks because Warjacks have a lot more systems. So just the mind, 1 less die on attack, body, 1 less die on damage, spirit can't be forced. So removing damage is a little more complicated. So we're going to go down to the table. I'm going to show you here. So say Getorix has taken a pounding and his spirit is currently out. And I actually, because I play Circle quite a bit, have these little dice made up. So the aspects are also color-coded. So you have mind is blue, body is red, spirit is green. So this die, with a 6-sided die, you can get any combination of the crippled aspects you require. So Getorix has taken a pounding, and his mind and his spirit are out. So I put that little die during my opponent's turn when they're crippled to remind myself and my opponent that they're crippled. And then during my turn, there's a couple ways that you can remove damage. Sometimes there's a model that has that ability. I don't have any out right now, but frequently, this is Linissa, she does not have this ability, but if you have a model that says on the back of their card that they can remove damage from a friendly faction Warbeast, then that model needs to either be a certain distance away from the model or base-to-base contact. Frequently, it's base-to-base contact. And then you roll a die, or you remove a set number of damage from it. So, say it's D3. You roll a D3, and you roll a 2, then I can remove 2 damage from it. Frequently, because healing in Hordes is not as prevalent as repair in War Machine, frequently what has to happen is your Warlock needs to heal your Warbeast. So say it's a circle turn during Tanith's activation. It has to be during her activation. So if I want to heal these things and make Getorix fully functional, I need to activate my Warlock first. She can spend as many Fury as she wants, but for every Fury she spends, she can heal 1 box on a Warbeast that is in her battle group and in her control range. Okay, that's important as well. So in this case, I have to spend 2 Fury to heal 2 boxes on Getorix's Spiral and make his mind and spirit no longer crippled, and then he no longer has the restrictions that he has. So that is the way you can remove damage, or the 2 main ways you can remove damage from your Warbeast. Frequently, you're going to rely on your Warlock to do that. There are some solos and models that can remove damage. Check them out on the back of their cards. It's different across all the factions. So that, Warbeast in a nutshell, very basic. We're going to cover more complicated stuff later in other videos. Good luck.